even kind of air to more rosy and black than they do to the green altogether. In Italy, they harvest most of it green and the rest of it rosy and black. And that's because they're concerned about weather in that area, that if it begins to freeze, they'll lose their olive crop. So they've developed a taste over the centuries for olive oil that has a bit of a scratchy flavor at the back.
Which varieties do you recommend for home?
I recommend Arbequina. I recommend Mission. If you're living a little bit in my area or south, Manzanillo will do extremely well. Picual has done well for me. It's done well, I think, in Jim's orchard. Siviana is a good one. They produce the quail-size olives. Let's see. Pendolina does very well. There are a lot of varieties you can choose from now. And I'm also trying 3 Tunisian varieties which show great promise. And once I get them big enough so that I can do cuttings, I'll do some cuttings off of those. Yes?
You sell your raw olives at your place? No.
No, we use every olive we can get our hands on. Yes.
So really, as long as it's not like freezing temperature 20s?
If it gets down to 20, you might make sure that the tree is protected a little bit.
But in terms of planting, like, I'm trying to think like Blanco or...
Blanco is fine. They'll grow in that area, absolutely. Yes, you just want to get the more cold varieties. You don't want to haul a manzanilla up there, for example. Yes. Mission's very cold hardy. Arbequina's very cold hardy. Oh, I'm so sorry. Siviano is cold hardy. Pendolina. Yes. Did you have a question? I thought somebody else had a question. Oh, yes.
Which varieties did you say were self-pollinating?
Arbequina and Mission are self-pollinating.
Can you do us a favor? We've done this before, but I didn't have a branch with me. This is our olive tree. We bought it here, and we still have it. It's 4 years old now, and it's taller than that board there, but spindly. It's got a nice trunk on it, about that size now. Do you have any idea what we bought?
You either bought an Arbequina or a Mission. This is what the Mission looks like, and I'm thinking...
It's doing
you
well.
have an Arbequina.
It's doing well for us. Obviously, it grew funny in that sacrificial branch this morning, but it needed prune.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I mean, I've got trees in my orchard that should have produced, and
it hasn't started producing yet. Obviously.
yeah, it's unfortunate. I wish that they were all guaranteed.
Oh, I know. No, it's a beautiful tree. It's doing well. Actually, I'm surprised it survived. The Seiler tree cutting crew took out an old ash tree and it fell right on the baby tree.
Oh dear.
It laid over with the trunk laying on the ground for about a week as they chopped up as quickly as they could this ancient ash tree that was full of ants. And when the last branch was pulled off of it, it stood right back.
I know. They're amazing trees.
It was amazing.
They're very resilient.
It survived.
Yes.
How old are those trees and how much are
I
they?
think that you'll have to ask at Shades of Green. I think that these are at least 3 years old.
You start
From
that
the time
by
that,
olive
from the
seed
time
or
that,
do you
no, you, thank you, I should have talked about that. You go from, you take cuttings off of 2-year-old wood, and that's how you produce them. If you can start from the seed, but you're probably going to revert back to a more primitive form. So, yes, did you have a question? Yes.
I just wondered, is any of this information on the various types of olive trees on plant.com?
I don't know. I know that there's a website, and I can't tell you how to, I mean, I can tell you how to get to it. It's the UN's website on cultivation. And they have all the cultivars listed. And then they have a little information about how cold hardy it is, whether it needs a pollinator or something like that. It's a wonderful website. It's a lot of fun.
You can also try plantanswers.com, which is an A&M website.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
type in all the trees, they might have some information.
Well, California would.
Okay, yeah.
Because Texas A&M is still learning with us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then don't like
Yes. You keep bees or? Oh, she wanted to know about pollinating. They're wind pollinated. Now, we encourage bees. We don't keep them, we encourage them, but not just because it's environmentally a good thing to do. But they don't require bees to be pollinated. And that's the other thing Texas has, lots of wind, right?
Is there an actual bloom?
It's very tiny. What happens is you have a bud that looks like an olive, and then it's very tiny, it's a little white flower. Doesn't last very long.
It looks like an industrial bloom.
Right, exactly.
Is it similar to the bloom on a sweet olive?
No, those are big. Aren't they? No, the little
No,
ones
they're
are.
pretty tiny.
They're tiny too. Okay, yes, that must be an
Okay.
osmanthus.
Are they fragrant?
Yeah, no, it's all about the olive. Yeah, they drop, and then behind it will be an olive. Now, if the tree is covered with blooms, about 25% of those will produce olives.
Okay.
Any other questions?
What happens after it blooms, the little olive falls off? Well,
Yeah, there's something you can do.
what usually causes something like that?
You probably had a critter out there nibbling. They're not prone to too many critters. Grasshoppers tried them and decided they were not great. Last year we had a lot of trouble with stink bugs. They were penetrating the olive and creating a nasty olive. But we're on top of that this year. Olive fruit fly is a huge problem in California. Not a problem here yet. They do get scale periodically. Don't know why, because it's so hot, but that could be on a tree that needs to be pruned so that you let some air through. One of the older trees. Yeah.
Do you spray for scale like they do peaches annually?
Well, we don't spray unless we go out and we see that we have a problem, because we use bioorganic in that case, but even though it's organically approved, we're still killing beneficials as well as the critter we're trying to get rid of. So we're very, very careful about spraying. We don't do prophylactic type spray.
When is harvest season?
Last year we started harvesting the end of August and went through September. We felt we probably started a little bit too early, so I think I'm going to say September. The whole month of September is harvesting. Maybe north of us on into October. And you don't have to worry about this, but we have to be, our harvesting has to be done in stages, because you have to do something with the olive within 3 days, or you've lost your crop. It's gone. It becomes compost. Oh, that's something else you can do with them as a product. After you crush the olives, if you take the seeds out, the residue that's left, if you take the seeds out, it's a wonderful cattle food.
See?
No, take the seeds out and leave the pulp, then that becomes a wonderful cattle food, the pulp. You can leave the seeds in and form them into briquettes and use them for barbecue. And they're doing that a lot in Australia. You know how crazy they are about barbecue. And so I think Texans should do that as well, because we're crazy about barbecue. And the other thing you can do with it is make about the world's best compost. So, well, thank you.
Thank you.